Hello everyone, Queen Billion here. How are you doing, billionaires? This is another episode of Life Lessons with Queen Billion. Hope you're doing great, hope you're doing fine. I have seen a lot posted in the last couple of hours about Osinachi Nwachukwu, and it's really heartbreaking. And my question is, why is the truth coming out now that our body lies defenseless? Who were their neighbors? Who were our friends? Who were our family members? Who were our confidants? Who was our pastor? Who were the mad people around her that said nothing till she died? Because I really don't understand. The first story that came out was the fact that she had throat cancer and had been on life support for 2 months. Imagine, somebody tried to change the narrative of what happened before the people who knew the truth eventually came out to debunk the lie. And I'm wondering, how in God's name did someone so anointed by God become forsaken even by people around her? Was it a choice to stay and die, or she was compelled by religion to stay? How did she end up with an animal of a husband? For God's sake. In the last couple of hours, I've heard a lot of crazy stories about this man, and it is maddening, it is sickening, and nobody said anything all these years. I have so many questions. And these questions are rhetorical. And it's actually directed to you who is actually watching these or going through a form of domestic violence, a form of emotional abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, or you know someone who is going through same and you are saying nothing. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. Please, we need to stop these senseless deaths. These senseless deaths. How? How in God's name? As far as I'm concerned, everybody around her that knew what she was going through, they are all mad. To have waited for her to die before speaking up. Because from the look of things, the way she looks and her demeanor, you would know that she's a very quiet and peaceful person. So she might actually not be able to fight for herself. That is what I see from the kind of person from the kind of pictures, from the kind of, persona that I perceive from her. So nobody was sensible enough to pull her out of that hellhole and make that man pay. I hear that he claims to be a manager, and before you can get to her, you have to go through him. And before she comes to perform or minister at anywhere, you would have to pay him the money. And when they go for ministrations together, he stays back at the hotel. And if she stays too long, he starts to call her and start asking, are you not done singing for them? What else are you still singing? Ladies, please. Don't be stupid. For God's sake, do not be stupid. Singles, hear me. Don't be stupid. The red flags are always there. The signs are always there, no matter how little. Don't sniff it. Yoruba says, in Kote Yobani Jay, you need your transliteration. What you would not eat, don't take it close to your nose. It's so sad. It's so sad. Please, for the sake of those that spent money to nurture you into adulthood, don't die a senseless death over a stupid love that you don't even know. Do you even know the meaning of love? Love is patient, love is kind. Go and read 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Then you will know what love should be, what you should expect from somebody that loves you. If it doesn't check all that box, then what are you talking about? Love is not rude. Love does not seek its own. Love is not violent. Perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love casts out fear. You cannot say you're in love and you're in fear at the same time. It does not work that way. And God is not the author of confusion. God is not an author of confusion. You cannot be married to somebody and you're confused whether it is the right thing for you or the wrong thing for you. Come on. God gave you a brain for a reason. God gave you a brain for a purpose. So please, whatever you will not take as a married person is totally unacceptable as a single. Please, open your eyes, shine your eye well. Enough of women being scapegoats of domestic violence and dying under domestic violence. Really, really, really crazy. I'm sick to my tummy. Let's call it religious madness, but a lot of pastors have to encourage women to stay with abusive husbands, because if they taught women how to recognize abuse and leave it, would be leaving churches too. Let's face it, some doctrines are abusive. and nobody is talking about this. I read an article where somebody said she confided in someone and said that if not for what the church would do and what people would say, she would have left the marriage. Just imagine what the church would do and what people would say. Please, if you are going through any form of abuse, leave. Choose life. The covenant of life is greater than the covenant of marriage. There was life before there was marriage, and there will be life even after marriage. Please, being strong does not mean you have to fight every battle. True strength is being wise enough to know when the battle is not yours and walk away. Please, you don't have to stay in anything abusive, all in the name of love. Do you even know what love means? 1 Corinthians chapter 13. That will tell you what true love is. Love is patient, love is kind. Anything outside of that, please, it is adulterated. Perfect love casts out fear. There is no fear in love. You cannot be living in fear and say that you are in love. It's possible now. Please note, prayer won't change violent people. Prayer won't. Some of them have been damaged since when they were children. They were damaged since when they were kids. I will show you a video clip so that you would understand where some of the fundamental problems come from. Some people have self-esteem that have been damaged. So you cannot even expect them to respect a fellow human being when they have even lost their own self-respect. Their self-esteem is lower than zero. Listen, singles, your pastor will not die with you when he kills you. When the abuser kills you, your pastor will not die with you. Your family and friends will blame you for leaving, and when you are dead, they will blame you for staying. Please, let's give ourselves brain. Let's respect ourselves. And be a complete person on your own. Be a complete person on your own before you hand over your talents to anybody. Know that they can be trusted. Let them themselves be talented human beings. Look at what happened to T-Bills and Tiwa. It was probably not physical abuse, but there was a lot of financial abuse and emotional abuse. So what are we saying? Not be today, but she had enough sense to walk away. And look at her today. Also in the same music industry. T-Bills was her so-called manager. That is what we are talking about. Women, you need to muzzle up and have enough strength to walk away when it is obvious that this is not going to end well. And when you know, you need to learn to fight for yourself, because obviously people will not fight for you. Look, they waited till she died before they spoke up. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be alive. You deserve all the good things of life. And one of the most sickening things that I've seen about this whole situation is a so-called brother, one Pastor Newman or whatever he calls himself, saying that she suffered and died in the Lord. As if Jesus had not suffered enough for this woman on the cross of Calvary. Carried the cross all the way. Flogged several times. With crown of thorns, as if he did not, the chastisement of my sin was not placed upon him. Come on, what are we talking about? What kind of Christianity is this? Please, if you have insensitive family members, you can adopt new ones. Because obviously this one didn't mean well for his sister. Every form of abuse should be addressed. Emotional abuse, financial abuse, domestic abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, modern slavery. Any form of abuse in any form. Say no to it. All for what? Choose life. Choose you first. Because Yoruba Day says, everybody came to this world one by one. Even if you came as twins, you came out one after the other. You didn't come out at the same time. Even if you came at the same time, everybody came with their head, their own separate head. For God's sake, don't choke your head inside trouble and say you died there. You died there. That waiting happen now. Please, now you be Jesus Christ.